Welcome, beautiful Sigma ladies. A Sigma female doesn't collect talents, she accumulates advantages. That line might sound dramatic, but here's the funny part. It's more accurate than your phone's battery percentage at 5%. And if you've ever met a true Sigma female, you already know she's the kind of woman who starts a new skill on a random Tuesday and somehow becomes better at it than the people who've done it for 5 years straight. Psychologists actually call this phenomenon adaptive multi-competence, a rare ability where a person absorbs new skills across different fields without losing depth or focus. And yes, Sigma females are practically built for it. While everyone else is trying to find their lane, she's quietly constructing the entire highway system, and she doesn't even brag about it. This is the woman who can troubleshoot a relationship, fix a leaking sink, decode body language, build an online business, rewrite her whole life story at midnight, and still have enough emotional energy to ignore drama like it's spam mail. But what makes her so terrifyingly good at almost everything she touches? It's not luck, and it's definitely not cliché mysterious energy. It's something far more fascinating, an internal blueprint that turns her into a one-woman toolkit society underestimated for far too long. So today, we're peeling back the layers and diving into 12 extraordinary, brutally honest reasons why the Sigma female is the true jack of all trades. Not because she tries to be everything, but because she refuses to be owned by anything. And trust me, by the time we're done, you'll never look at her quiet confidence the same way again. Number 1. She learns skills out of survival instinct, not ambition. A Sigma female's versatility doesn't come from wanting to be impressive, successful, or admired. It comes from something much deeper, something far more primal: survival. She understands early in life that the world isn't built to protect her, rescue her, or hand her anything. So she develops skills the same way people build emergency exits: quietly, methodically, and out of necessity. While others learn things because it looks good on a resume, she learns because she never wants to be trapped, depending on someone who could fail her, leave her, or control her. There's a seriousness behind her competence that most people miss. She becomes financially literate because she's seen what happens to people who rely on others for money. She learns emotional intelligence because she's watched how manipulation works. She becomes good at practical tasks, repairing, organizing, building, managing, because she refuses to be helpless. Her skill set is her armor, and she keeps upgrading it every time life throws a new challenge at her. What makes this so intriguing is that she doesn't broadcast any of it. She doesn't walk around talking about how strong or independent she is. She simply prepares, quietly and consistently, until one day people look at her and wonder how she became so capable. They don't see the nights she had to figure things out alone, the situations that forced her to grow, or the moments when help wasn't coming. They only see the results. Her talents aren't hobbies, they're lifelines. They're the silent agreements she makes with herself that she will never be cornered or powerless again. Even her calmness comes from survival. She learned that staying composed gives her more clarity than panic ever will. And here's where she becomes truly exceptional. Once she masters a skill for survival, she ends up excelling at it naturally. It's almost ironic. The abilities she gained from necessity turn into strengths that make her unstoppable. Her resilience becomes talent. Her independence becomes expertise. Her survival instinct becomes her superpower. That's why she is, without even trying, a real jack of all trades. She didn't learn to impress the world. She learned to never need it. Number 2. She can build competence. Quietly, because she doesn't perform for the crowd. A Sigma female becomes skilled in so many areas because she learns in silence, without the pressure of being watched or judged. Most people want applause before they've even mastered the basics. They need validation to stay motivated, and when the validation slows down, so does their progress. A Sigma female has none of that noise around her. She learns because she wants the ability, not the attention. That freedom gives her a massive advantage. When she picks up a new skill, no one knows. She doesn't announce her plans or tell people she's working on something big. She just disappears for a while, studies deeply, fails privately, corrects herself quietly, and reappears with a level of competence that looks almost supernatural. People think she learns fast, but the truth is she learns without the weight of an audience. No pressure, no performance, no ego, just focus. This quiet approach lets her make mistakes without fear. She can experiment, adjust, restart, or scrap things completely without feeling embarrassed. That accelerates her growth. When nobody is watching, there is no need to pretend she knows what she's doing. And ironically, that honesty speeds up mastery faster than any motivational hype ever could. She also doesn't show off her progress. This confuses people because they only see the final version of her skills, not the messy attempts that built them. By the time she reveals what she's been working on, she's already good at it. There's no in-between stage for people to criticize, interrupt, or discourage. She protects her development like it's sacred ground. What makes her especially intriguing is that her silence isn't shyness, it's strategy. She knows the moment you make your growth public, people start giving opinions, doubts, comparisons, and expectations. All of that slows you down. She avoids that trap completely. Her quiet learning is the reason she becomes a jack of all trades without trying to be one. She builds skill after skill in her own space, at her own pace, without applause, without pressure, and without ego. That's why, when she finally steps into the light, she's already unstoppable. Number 3. She simplifies complex areas until they become playgrounds. A Sigma female has a rare ability to take things that seem overwhelmingly complicated and strip them down until they're not just understandable, they're intuitive. Where most people freeze in the face of complexity, she thrives. She looks at systems, ideas, or problems that feel like labyrinths to everyone else and starts untangling them piece by piece. She doesn't just learn them, she plays with them, experimenting, testing, and reshaping until the once intimidating becomes manageable and even enjoyable. Her mind refuses to be trapped by intimidation. She doesn't let jargon, protocols, or social pressure dictate what she can or cannot tackle. If she's faced with a complex field, she approaches it like a puzzle, isolating the patterns that matter and discarding the noise. By doing this, she finds shortcuts that others wouldn't even think to look for. Tasks that overwhelm average people become her playgrounds, her arenas to experiment and master without stress. What makes this so extraordinary is how effortless it appears. To an outsider, it looks like she has some innate talent that makes difficult things simple. The truth is, she has trained herself to see the bones of a system, the underlying logic, the hidden mechanics that everyone else ignores. Once she understands the structure, she can bend it, manipulate it, or adapt it to her needs. What was once a source of anxiety for others becomes her tool set, giving her the edge in practically any field. Her simplification doesn't make her work shallow. It makes her work precise, effective, and adaptable. She can move from one domain to another, absorb its complexity, and emerge competent without wasting time on unnecessary rituals or distractions. She thrives where others stumble, not because she's faster, but because she refuses to be intimidated by the weight of complexity. That's why she's a true jack of all trades. She doesn't just survive complicated environments, she transforms them into her playgrounds. And in those spaces, she isn't just good, she becomes exceptional, unstoppable, and impossible to ignore. Number 4. She adapts without losing herself. A talent very few possess. The most remarkable thing about a Sigma female is her ability to adapt to any situation without sacrificing who she truly is. While most people bend under pressure, adjusting themselves to fit expectations, she moves through environments with fluidity and confidence, keeping her core intact. She doesn't imitate others or compromise her values just to belong. Instead, she observes, absorbs what works, and integrates it in a way that enhances her own identity rather than replacing it. This is what sets her apart from the crowd. Adaptation is often mistaken for conformity, but for her, it's strategy. She can navigate corporate hierarchies, social drama, or chaotic personal situations without ever appearing out of place. Yet behind that calm exterior, she remains untouchable, retaining the clarity and strength that define her. Her environment may change, but her essence doesn't waver. Her adaptability also makes her versatile in ways most people can't match. She can switch roles, learn new skills, and handle unexpected challenges because she doesn't rely on rigid labels or fixed identities. She understands that clinging to one image or way of being limits growth, so she remains open while being anchored. This balance is rare. Too much flexibility and you lose yourself, too much rigidity and you get left behind. She has perfected the middle ground. What makes her adaptation truly exceptional is how invisible it is. Most people don't even notice she's adjusting. To them, it looks effortless, almost natural, but it's a conscious, calculated process. She reads situations, measures the energy, and acts in a way that maximizes her effectiveness while safeguarding her integrity. This ability to remain herself while becoming what a situation demands is what allows her to master so many different areas. She can excel in business, relationships, creative pursuits, or survival scenarios because she doesn't need to sacrifice authenticity to succeed. She bends without breaking, flows without losing form, and adapts without losing identity. In the end, this is why a Sigma female is a true jack of all trades. She can thrive anywhere, handle anything, and remain untouchable, not because she chases perfection, but because she has perfected the art of being entirely herself everywhere. Number 5. She collects skills the same way others collect excuses. A Sigma female doesn't acquire skills to show off or to fit in. She does it because she refuses to ever be unprepared. While most people waste time rationalizing why they can't do something, making excuses to justify their limitations, she quietly fills the gaps that life might exploit. Every ability she gains is a tool, a safeguard, a way to ensure she's never trapped or dependent. She collects skills like others collect comfort zones or excuses, methodically, deliberately, and with purpose. What makes her extraordinary is the mindset behind it. Learning isn't a hobby or a social expectation for her. It's survival and freedom rolled into one. She doesn't wait for opportunities to present themselves. She creates them by being capable in every area that could ever matter. If a situation requires knowledge she doesn't yet have, she acquires it. She doesn't stall, debate, or rationalize. She just acts. The world throws challenges at people constantly, and she's built to handle them all, silently outpacing everyone else in the process. She also approaches skill building with precision. She doesn't scatter her energy on random things. She studies, practices, and integrates abilities in a way that maximizes utility. Each skill becomes a lever, a tool that gives her control over circumstances most people would find overwhelming. And unlike those who learn only enough to get by or impress others, she develops depth as well as breadth, turning competence into a quiet form of power. Her collection of skills isn't about recognition or applause. It's a personal guarantee that she will never be at the mercy of someone else's limitations or whims. She quietly outmaneuvers people who depend on luck or circumstance. The result is terrifyingly effective. She can enter any situation, adapt, and thrive while most are still figuring out how to survive. This is why a Sigma female is naturally the jack of all trades. She doesn't chase skills for validation. She builds them as a shield, a weapon, and a freedom strategy. Every ability she gains is proof of her independence, intelligence, and unshakable self-reliance, making her capable in ways few will ever understand or anticipate. Number 6. She learns from patterns, not people. A Sigma female doesn't just imitate others or follow the crowd. She studies the underlying patterns behind actions, behaviors, and systems. While most people are busy copying what they see or listening to advice, she observes how things work on a deeper level. She deciphers the mechanics behind results, understands cause and effect, and then applies that knowledge in her own way. This ability to see the invisible threads connecting situations gives her a huge edge in every aspect of life. She doesn't rely on mentors, instructions, or conventional wisdom, because she knows that real understanding comes from seeing the bigger picture. People might tell her how something is done, but she's more interested in why it works. By analyzing patterns, she predicts outcomes, avoids common pitfalls, and finds shortcuts that others never notice. She can enter unfamiliar territory and quickly figure out how to navigate it, because she isn't learning surface-level information. She's learning the blueprint. This approach makes her unpredictable and extraordinarily versatile. While others get stuck trying to mimic techniques or follow rigid instructions, she adapts effortlessly. She can handle situations that would overwhelm most people because she doesn't need a step-by-step guide. She understands the logic behind every move, every decision, and every interaction. That makes her capable in multiple areas at once, able to switch between skills and environments without losing effectiveness. Her talent for pattern recognition also extends to people. She sees motives, tendencies, and weaknesses in ways that others often miss. This isn't about manipulation, it's about understanding and preparation. By decoding the patterns in human behavior, she can navigate relationships, business, and social dynamics with precision. In the end, this ability to learn from patterns instead of people is why she becomes a jack of all trades. She doesn't just acquire skills, she understands systems, situations, and strategies at a level few can. She sees the hidden structure behind the chaos, and that gives her a silent power, a capability, and a freedom that most will never experience or even recognize. Number 7. She uses curiosity like a scalpel, not a hobby. A Sigma female's curiosity is not casual or superficial. It's precise, deliberate, and ruthless. While most people treat curiosity as a hobby, a fleeting interest in something new, she wields it like a scalpel, dissecting every topic, system, or person she encounters. She doesn't stop at surface-level understanding or rely on quick explanations. She goes deeper, tracing causes, uncovering patterns, and revealing hidden mechanics that most people never notice. Her curiosity is a tool for mastery, not entertainment. This intense approach makes her frighteningly effective at learning. She can enter a field she knows nothing about, and within a short time, grasp it at a level that would take most years to achieve. Her questions are surgical, directed at uncovering truth, eliminating noise, and finding what actually matters. She doesn't waste energy on trivial details unless they serve a purpose. Every bit of knowledge she acquires is functional, practical, and strategic. What makes her exceptional is how this curiosity translates across all areas of life. She can analyze people, systems, businesses, and even abstract concepts with the same intensity. She learns skills faster, adapts quicker, and solves problems in ways others can't because she's not satisfied with simply knowing something. She needs to understand it completely. That depth gives her a unique versatility that seems almost effortless to outsiders. Her curiosity also shields her from manipulation. By digging beneath the surface, she sees motives, inconsistencies, and hidden agendas. She doesn't take anything at face value, which makes her resilient in situations where most people are blind. This level of insight gives her an edge not just in practical tasks, but in social dynamics, strategy, and life in general. The difference between her and others is stark. While people dabble in interests and chase novelty, she dissects, masters, and converts curiosity into power. Every skill, every piece of knowledge, and every insight she gains is a direct result of this disciplined, surgical curiosity. This is why a Sigma female becomes a true jack-of-all-trades. She doesn't collect hobbies, she harvests mastery, and she does it with relentless precision. Number 8. She doesn't wait for permission, she reverse engineers it. A Sigma female never waits for approval, instructions, or a green light from anyone else. If she wants to achieve something or master a skill, she doesn't linger, hesitate, or hope someone shows her the way. Instead, she reverse engineers the process. She looks at the end goal, studies every element that makes it possible, and then reconstructs it in a way that works for her. She doesn't follow the rules blindly. She decodes them, finds the gaps, and creates her own pathway. This ability to dismantle and rebuild systems gives her a level of competence most people can't even imagine. Her approach to challenges is analytical yet intuitive. She breaks down complex tasks into manageable steps, identifies what is essential, and eliminates what doesn't serve the objective. While others waste time trying to figure out how to get started or wait for someone to give them instructions, she has already mapped out the route and begun walking it. There is no hesitation, no second guessing, just methodical, precise action that gets results faster than anyone expects. This is also why she can thrive in environments that overwhelm others. In unfamiliar territory, she doesn't panic or rely on existing structures. She examines how things function, deciphers the mechanics, and adapts. That adaptability is built on her skill of reverse engineering, seeing the finished product, understanding the invisible gears that make it work, and then using that knowledge to make her own system succeed. Her independence in learning and executing makes her quietly formidable. She doesn't need mentors, crowds, or validation. She makes herself competent on her terms, in her own time, and often without anyone noticing until she's already achieved results. This mindset transforms her into a true jack-of-all-trades. She doesn't wait for opportunities, she creates them. She doesn't follow instructions, she invents the roadmap. Every skill she acquires, every problem she solves, is a result of this relentless, intelligent approach. She doesn't ask for permission because she already knows how to make the impossible attainable, and she does it with quiet, unstoppable precision. Number 9. She doesn't fear. Starting at 0, she fears staying there. A Sigma female has no fear of beginning from scratch because she understands that starting at 0 is not a weakness, it's an opportunity. While most people panic when faced with the unfamiliar or hesitate because they lack experience, she sees the blank slate as her advantage. It's a space where she can build her own rules, her own methods, and her own version of success without being weighed down by past expectations or limitations. Her fear is not of the unknown, but of stagnation, of remaining in the same place while life keeps moving. This mindset sets her apart in every arena. Whether it's learning a new skill, entering a competitive environment, or tackling a challenge others shy away from, she embraces the starting point. She doesn't worry about what she doesn't know yet because she knows the power lies in how quickly she can adapt, learn, and grow. 0 is not a setback. It's a playground where she tests her intelligence, resilience, and resourcefulness. Her willingness to start from nothing also fuels her versatility. She can jump into areas where others feel unqualified or intimidated and rapidly transform herself into a competent, even exceptional force. This ability comes from a combination of curiosity, patience, and unshakable confidence in her capacity to figure things out. Unlike those who are paralyzed by inexperience, she sees every challenge as a puzzle she can solve. What makes this truly remarkable is the speed and depth of her progress. She doesn't just survive starting at zero, she thrives. She learns faster, adapts quicker, and often surpasses those who have been in the field far longer. And she does it quietly, without needing validation or applause, because she measures success by her own growth, not by what others say. Her fear of staying stagnant drives her forward relentlessly. She accumulates skills, knowledge, and experiences precisely because she refuses to be trapped in one place. That's why she becomes a jack of all trades, not by accident, not by choice, but because she's designed to grow, evolve, and master anything life throws at her, starting from zero if necessary. Number 10. She has a ruthless ability to cut out inefficient habits. A Sigma female's versatility isn't just about what she learns, it's about what she refuses to carry. She has an almost surgical ability to identify habits, behaviors, and distractions that drain her energy or slow her progress, and she removes them without hesitation. While most people cling to routines, excuses, or obligations out of comfort, loyalty, or fear of judgment, she treats inefficiency as a liability. Anything that doesn't serve her growth or her goals is cut out, leaving only the tools, skills, and routines that make her sharper, faster, and stronger. This ruthlessness isn't about being harsh or rigid. It's about clarity and purpose. She doesn't waste time on activities that feel productive but accomplish little. She doesn't invest in relationships that pull her down or environments that stifle her creativity. She doesn't let outdated beliefs, social pressure, or fear of failure weigh her down. Every decision is filtered through a simple question. Does this serve me, or does it hold me back? And if it doesn't serve, she eliminates it. Her ability to subtract inefficiency allows her to maximize mental bandwidth. While others are overwhelmed by noise, constant obligations, meaningless interactions, or wasted effort, she operates with precision and focus. She can master new skills, tackle complex challenges, and adapt to changing circumstances because her mind is uncluttered. She doesn't just accumulate skills and knowledge. She cultivates an ecosystem where every habit, every practice, and every action contributes directly to her competence. This also makes her incredibly unpredictable. People who rely on habits, scripts, or predictable patterns can be manipulated or anticipated. She doesn't function that way. Her efficiency, combined with selective focus, allows her to act decisively and intelligently in situations that would paralyze others. Ultimately, this ruthless elimination of inefficiency is why she becomes a true jack of all trades. She doesn't just learn more, she learns smarter. She doesn't just survive in complex environments, she thrives. Her skill set, her focus, and her adaptability are amplified because she doesn't allow wasted energy, outdated habits, or unnecessary distractions to hold her back. She cuts through the noise, and what remains is power, capability, and unmatched versatility. Number 11. She doesn't follow roadmaps. She builds shortcuts no one else sees. A Sigma female doesn't rely on traditional methods or pre-established paths to get where she wants. While most people stick to instructions, templates, or step-by-step guides, she looks at the same challenges and finds ways to cut through the clutter. She doesn't wait for a manual or someone else's blueprint. She studies the system, deciphers the hidden mechanics, and creates shortcuts that make progress faster, smarter, and more efficient. This ability to see what others overlook is what sets her apart and makes her capable in almost any situation. Her approach is quiet but lethal. She observes how things function at a deeper level, how processes connect, where bottlenecks occur, and which rules are actually flexible. Then she experiments, adapts, and innovates until she's carved a path that works for her. It's not laziness or arrogance, it's precision and strategy. By avoiding unnecessary steps, she saves time, energy, and mental bandwidth while still achieving results that others assume require years of effort. This talent extends beyond tasks and skills. She applies it to people, relationships, and opportunities as well. She can navigate social dynamics, workplace politics, or complex projects with a subtle efficiency that others can't replicate. Where most people struggle to keep up with expectations or follow the standard path, she is already ahead, moving through the system in ways that are almost invisible to those around her. Her shortcuts aren't shortcuts in skill, they're shortcuts in execution. She still masters what she needs to master, but she does it by leveraging intelligence, observation, and strategy rather than by following rigid paths or wasting time on conventional methods. This allows her to accumulate a breadth of competence across multiple areas without burning out or appearing frantic. Ultimately, this ability to build her own shortcuts is why she becomes a jack of all trades. She doesn't just succeed in new arenas, she dominates them quietly, efficiently, and almost effortlessly. Where others see complexity and obstacles, she sees pathways and leverage points. And that's what makes her extraordinary. She doesn't follow the map, she redraws it. Number 12, she studies people the way experts study. Systems. A Sigma female doesn't just interact with people, she analyzes them. She observes patterns, behaviors, and reactions with the same intensity a scientist studies a complex system. While most people take words and gestures at face value, she looks beneath the surface, decoding motives, intentions, and hidden agendas. This isn't about manipulation or deceit. It's about understanding the mechanics of human behavior, so she can navigate the world efficiently and without unnecessary risk. Her social intelligence is a skill she develops deliberately, and it gives her a quiet, almost imperceptible edge in every situation. She notices inconsistencies that others miss. A subtle hesitation, a micro-expression, or an unusual choice of words tells her far more than most people could learn from hours of conversation. She pieces together these fragments like a puzzle, revealing motives, alliances, and potential outcomes. By understanding the patterns that drive people, she anticipates moves before they happen, avoids traps, and leverages opportunities others don't even see. This makes her socially versatile and highly adaptable. Her study of people isn't limited to reading others. It also informs how she presents herself. She knows how to communicate effectively, when to assert herself, and when to step back. She can influence outcomes without being overt or forceful because she understands the levers of human behavior. Relationships, negotiations, conflicts, and alliances become systems she can navigate with precision. What makes this skill extraordinary is how quietly she wields it. People rarely realize they've been understood so thoroughly until she's already moved through a situation with clarity and control. Her insight comes from observation and analysis, not from gossip or speculation. This allows her to act decisively and effectively, often leaving others wondering how she always seems one step ahead. This ability to study people as systems is part of why a Sigma female becomes a jack of all trades. She doesn't just master tasks, ideas, or skills. She masters interactions, dynamics, and social landscapes. She understands people at a structural level, and that understanding amplifies every other competence she develops, making her silently powerful, remarkably adaptable, and exceptionally capable in any environment. The Sigma female is a force unlike any other. She doesn't chase recognition, follow trends, or bend to the expectations of society. Every skill she acquires, every habit she builds, and every pattern she decodes is done with intention, purpose, and precision. She thrives in silence, learns in solitude, and adapts without compromise. Her versatility isn't accidental. It's a carefully constructed system of survival, intelligence, and independence that allows her to navigate any environment, master any challenge, and rise above limitations that hold others captive. She is a jack of all trades, not because she tries to be, but because she refuses to be limited by circumstance, opinion, or fear. Her mastery of skills, people, and situations comes from a relentless drive to understand, to improve, and to remain unshakably herself in a world that constantly demands conformity. This is why the Sigma female is extraordinary. She doesn't just survive, she thrives, she dominates silently, and she transforms complexity into opportunity. She turns obstacles into tools, inefficiency into strategy, and curiosity into power. By studying systems, decoding people, and mastering the art of adaptation, she becomes unstoppable in ways most will never comprehend. Every step she takes is deliberate, every skill she gains is meaningful, and every move she makes reinforces her independence and capability. If this breakdown has given you a glimpse into the exceptional world of the Sigma female, make sure you don't miss out on more insights like this. Subscribe to the channel to stay connected with content that reveals the hidden truths about power, strategy, and mastery. Like this video, if it resonated with you, comment below with your thoughts or experiences, and share it with anyone who needs to understand the brilliance of the Sigma female. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to uncover, so stay tuned and be part of a community that values knowledge, skill, and unshakable independence.